Why, hello. I've returned yet again with another drawing. Well, actually, I'm not even drawing this. I'm watching it over. I'm dubbing over it. Or no, I'm doing a voiceover. Whatever you call this. Anyway, look. I wanted to talk in this video a little bit about art block, or this feeling like you're in the mud, right? Like you're stuck and you can't really bring yourself to sit down and draw something. Especially because as of recently, like maybe even a few days ago, I've had this feeling, um, or this lack of feeling, more like a lack of motivation to draw anything. Which it sounds ridiculous to me right now because art is basically what I do for a living, right? I run a Patreon account, and I guess I do this now, YouTube, this whole YouTube thing. So it's like, bitch, how do you not want to draw something? Do you want to eat? Do you like doing that, right? Get to drawing. But that's different, right? That's like a whole different situation there. I'm talking more about this feeling of wanting to draw for fun, because that's primarily, aside from the job, obviously. Primarily, I draw for fun. This is like what I enjoy doing aside from other things. But specifically when you're like, you're sitting down, you're drawing, and, every artist, I'm sure, has gone through this feeling of you're drawing something and it's just not coming right, or rather coming out right at all. The hands look jacked up, the legs look like two paper clips being held together by a rubber band. Right, the proportions are whack. Nothing looks right. Right, you're trying to draw for fun, but it's not fun in the moment. And when this happens to me, I get so frustrated. I get like hot. And it's usually at that point where I put the pencil down and I just walk away. I do something else. I play like video games, or watch anime or whatever. And it's frustrating because the thing that I want to be doing is drawing, but it's just not happening for whatever reason. By the way, look at this. Watch me struggle with these legs for the next, I feel like it was the next 6 minutes. Watch me struggle with this shit. I'm gonna erase. Look at me. Already erasing the whole bottom half. But anyway, art block. So whenever I feel this feeling, there's this thing that I do now lately, which is I kind of, take a step back, remove myself from, I guess, the moment, and I ask myself, like, why am I so mad right now? Like, why am I giving up on a drawing after only having put down like 3 lines? Like, why do I expect it to be so good right from jump? I was talking about this recently with a friend on Discord, and I think what I said in that conversation, the conclusion I came down to was that there is this unrealistic expectation of myself that is like, that expects a good result based on my past work. Right, it's like this feeling of I've been drawing for so long already, what, like, I don't even know, like 12, 11 years at this point. And it's this feeling of like, why are you taking so long to draw this, like, an arm? Like, you've drawn so many arms, why are you struggling with this one arm? And it's not even like a hard angle or a position. It's whatever. It's like an arm like the one you're seeing here in the video. And it's like, I just can't do it for whatever reason. And then like when that happens, you probably step away, you put the pencil down, and you're like, I'm not, forget it. I'm not going to draw for like the rest of the day. And then the rest of the day you're thinking like, nah, crap, I kind of want to draw right now. But it's like, you probably felt like, why though? Why should I? It's probably not going to look good anyway. And then at that point, you don't even try at all ever. And I think personally that is such a weird mindset to have, because it's like, I don't know, it's like, on what basis do you have to expect perfection immediately? Like, what? You're not like a pro. I'm speaking for myself, by the way. I'm not like I'm not like roasting you, but I'm just saying, like, for me, when this happens to me, I sort of ask myself, like, why? Like, chill. Like, you don't have like a deadline, right? It's not like you're in a situation where it's like, oh shit, if I don't draw these legs, they're gonna chop my legs off. It's such an irrational feeling, but I think that feeling of frustration when you're feeling art block, or like you're feeling stuck, I don't think is wholly negative, because it's like, you're frustrated because you want to get better. Like, it comes from passion, and that's why you're so like eager to get better, but it's just obviously not happening at the rate that you maybe would have liked for it to happen. So for me personally, I feel like art block is, of course, a negative feeling, but it's almost like a necessary feeling in a way. It's sort of like an opportunity for me to like reassess why it is that I'm feeling so frustrated at my drawing, because I've heard a few times like people being like, did I get worse? Like, that's such a weird question, by the way, because like, if the last thing that you drew was something from 2 days ago, then you did not get worse. I assure you, that's not what is happening. I think that's more of a realistic question to ask yourself if you've been on a hiatus for like 4 years, at which point it's like, okay, you might have forgot a thing or two. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to get to here is that in order to deal with art block, right, in order to pull yourself out of the hole that you feel like you're in, you need to first identify what it is that put you in that hole in the first place. And I get that that's kind of like a hard thing to do, because the answer isn't going to be so obvious or the same for everyone, because everyone has like a different reason for why they feel like they can't perform to their best ability. But I think it's an important first step. It's almost like therapizing yourself. Like for me, for example, right? I have felt art block and this feeling like I'm trudging through mud so many times at this point, and I feel like I've been able to identify the reason why I've been feeling that every time. And for me, it is that unrealistic expectation that any time that I sit down to draw, that I must be as good as I've been before, if not better than that. And I think that is such an unfair thing to do to yourself, right? I'm not a damn robot that's gonna pump out the best shit you've ever seen. That's stupid to expect that every single time. And so whenever I feel stuck now, it's almost, I'm like excited almost when I get an art block or I feel stuck, because I've realized that every time I've felt this, I've come out the other end like one better than I was before, and to I'll feel inspired to draw again, and that inspiration will carry me for like months sometimes before I feel stuck again. And I think what helps me see that light at the end of the tunnel is by simply just accepting that my drawings are going to look like shit sometimes, and kind of like, you know, living with it, like welcoming it. It's like bet where it's shitty right now, whatever, I'm gonna draw anyway. Because you never know, you might actually make a drawing that's like one of your favorite drawings you've ever done. Because like you might start drawing and you might find yourself getting into like a groove, and it's, you know, you'll never find out if you don't try. If you just refuse to draw anything because you feel like it's gonna look bad anyway, then it's, you know, that's not helping anyone, let alone yourself. You have to just face that block. And you know what? I don't even think it's a block. I was talking to one of my patrons and I made this analogy of art block, and I wish I could find it. Because I feel like I worded it there better than what I'm probably going to do now, just trying to like remember it. So what I did, I compared art block to a road trip. And the idea behind this analogy is that you get in the car, you start driving, and your destination is your goal. Right? It's like how good you want to be. So you might look at your favorite artist's work on whatever, Instagram or Twitter, X, and you say, I want to draw like this person, right? So that's your goal, that's the destination of your road trip. So what happens? You're on the road, you're driving, you might be driving for hours, and you know, you're feeling good. It's like a nice day out. You got the window down, the wind's blasting in your face. You're playing your favorite song or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're chilling, you're having like a good time, right? You're thinking, this is going to be so awesome once I get to my destination. But then guess what happens? As you go down that path to your destination, you, like with anyone who's been doing something for a very long time, like you're probably doing on this road trip, aka your art journey, you're going to feel fatigue. You're going to get sleepy. You're going to get hungry. You're going to get bored, right? You've been driving for hours. You're like, my back is stiff. My ankle's been in the same position for like 8 hours. You need time to rest. You can't just keep driving forever. So you say, you know what, let me pull this bitch on over to this cafe that's like on the side of the road, this inn. And so you say, let me just chill in here for a minute. Let me relax and recuperate. And that is, to me, that is what art block is. To me, art block isn't a wall that is blocking you from your destination. It's the cafe. It's the moment where you turn the car off and you sit back and you just chill for a minute, right? You're not quitting, you're not abandoning the trip. You're just taking a little break. And guess what? You're not gonna stay in that cafe forever, right? Because they close at 10. So eventually you're gonna get back in the car, at which point you'll feel ready to get back on the road and drive for another 6 hours. And the road is probably an old ass road. There's rocks and shit. There's a pothole because the fucking city didn't allocate the tax money well. So you hit that motherfucker and you're like, God, you spinning out and shit. God damn. And now you got a busted tire and you need to call roadside assistance to come fix your shit, and they're gonna take like 2 hours, which is yet another detour on your journey down to your destination. So what I'm trying to say here in this silly ass analogy is that the path on your journey is not always going to be a smooth drive, right? You might get tired of drawing, you might get bored of it, and you just might feel uninspired. And I think it's okay to step away from art in order to like recharge the battery, the creative battery that's inside of you. And who knows how long it'll take for you for that battery to recharge, right? You might have a battery that's from 2006, and your ass doesn't have super fast charging, right? You got a 10 megawatt battery. That shit takes like 2 years to recharge. But here's the thing, the journey never stops. You might have decided that, you know what, drawing isn't for me. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just not good enough. And you stop drawing for like 2 years. And guess what? As soon as you pick up that pencil or that pen and you make a little doodle on some random piece of paper that you found in your car, you just continued your journey and you probably didn't even know it. And I think it is a good idea for you, if you're going through art block, to realize that it is a journey and you haven't peaked. And if you take a look at your most recent drawing, you look at it and you think, I can do better than this, I want to do better than this, then you're not done yet. You are still driving down that road the same way that I'm still driving down that road. And the thing is that for most artists, we're never going to reach that destination. And I actually think it's fair to say that any artist who's ever lived probably has never looked at their art and thought, you know what, I'm done. I think I've reached my destination. I have nothing else to learn. I'm not going to draw anything ever again. Right? No one has ever achieved perfection. So why do you have to be perfect? And as soon as you realize that not every one of your drawings needs to be absolute majesty, then I think you'll just be so much better off. I know for me, as soon as I did that it was so freeing. It just feels good not to care, you know what I'm saying? We can all not care together. Anyway, you guys, this video has been really rambly. I didn't really have an idea for a video this week, so I figured I'll just talk over a video of me drawing a figure. So that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching. I hope anything I said in this video resonated with you, maybe even a little bit. I didn't really have a script. I just turned it on. I was like, let me just say something. And so now we have this aimless video. But so anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Accept your crappy drawings. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you.